if you have a Shopify store or any kind of e-commerce store that is an Amazon FBA, then you're probably using advertising in some capacity to drive traffic to that store. But on the Empire Flippers platform, we've had Shopify store owners, e-commerce store owners successfully sell their business that was completely ad-free. It was purely organic driven. So if you have a great product offering and you make use of the organic traffic sources online, which I'll get into in a little bit, then it's absolutely possible. So with Shopify or DTC e-commerce or any kind of e-commerce where you're not relying on Amazon FBA or a site that already has a lot of organic traffic going to that site, then you're kind of on your own to figure out how you're going to run your business. So first is, why do people choose to opt for advertising? So the first is speed. You are driving traffic, you're paying for traffic to show up on your storefront. That's usually much quicker than going through the organic channels, whether that's building content or social media or email marketing. And a lot of people will opt for that because they can see an immediate return or immediate statistics. Even if those are unprofitable statistics, they are immediate nonetheless. So the second point is ease. It depends on what kind of advertising platform you're using. There isn't a lot that's required. Maybe you just have to create an image and then write some marketing copy, and that's it. Now that can seem far more attractive than writing a 3,000 word blog post, for example. So with those advantages out of the way, what are the disadvantages to relying on paid advertising? First is the ad pricing. When ads become more competitive, when people decide to advertise for similar keywords or with limited online real estate, ad pricing goes up, and that's out of the control of the individual store owner. It's out of the control of you. As ad pricing goes up, your return on ad spend will go down. And for businesses that are completely reliant on advertising, we always list that as a risk because you really have no control potentially over the profitability of your business. The second point is the current privacy laws and ad blockers. So privacy laws, it's becoming more difficult for marketers to collect certain data that they were able to collect before that they would use to inform the types of ads that they would run or the types of audience that they would target. The other part of that is ad blockers. So customers now, they are savvier than ever, and there are ad blocker plugins that will make it so even if you create your advertising and you run advertising, a lot of people won't even see them potentially. Now the third is authenticity. So there was a study that showed that 70 to 80% of consumers, they preferred an organic relationship with their brand over a more generic paid advertising relationship. And aside from that test, I mean, just think about your own purchase behaviors and your own interactions with other brands and how you personally prefer to purchase products. At least in my case, I know that I do tend to want to feel like I have more control over that relationship with brands and come to my own decisions about the types of products that I buy. And it also feels like I have more trust in brands that focus a bit more on authenticity. And that's why the influencer market is so big, because brands are essentially now paying for trust. So going ad-free can not only free up your marketing budget and also your mental bandwidth, but imagine for a moment, what would a purely organic approach look like where you were forced to develop an authentic relationship with your audience? How would that change your messaging? How would that change the types of people that you targeted or the locations online that you tried to promote? Even if you did continue with advertising, you might be surprised at the answers that you come away with if you went a purely organic approach that was purely driven off of the relationship that you create with your audience, how that could actually impact the way that you run advertising to create more of that authentic relationship. So here are 4 ways that sellers on the Empire Flippers marketplace have been successful in doing that with their own Shopify stores. So the first is SEO. SEO is usually associated with content sites that drive their income through display advertising or through affiliate sources, but this can also be used for e-commerce stores. So that would look like you creating pieces of content, and this can be either on blogs or video, so through YouTube, creating pieces of content and driving that traffic back to your e-commerce store. So that's the first thing. And then the second is email marketing. So email marketing, as old as it is, it's still as powerful as ever. And research shows that for every $1 people spend or e-commerce stores spend on their email marketing, they make a $45 return on investments. Not only that, it's a traffic source that you own. It does take some time to build that traffic source, but ultimately, once you have people on an email list, it's a source that's protected from Google algorithm updates. It's protected from third-party restrictions. So what this looks like is by creating content, whether on a blog or a YouTube video, and people have an ability to sign up directly on that blog, and then you run an email marketing campaign for people maybe who haven't become customers yet. Or for people who have purchased with you, you have their email list as well. They're in a bucket of people who have purchased and could potentially become returning customers. So maybe you would create a separate email marketing campaign to serve that audience. Third is email marketing. Now, I've seen different Shopify store owners, different e-commerce store owners have different success depending on the type of product that they're selling and the niche that they're selling in. Some store owners will focus purely on promoting on Pinterest, for example, if it's like a kind of arts and crafts type of product that they're selling. And others will have more success on Facebook and Instagram, or maybe even TikTok. And look at your competition. Are there specific brands who are in a place that you would like to be, that are spending a majority of their time on a specific social media platform? That usually is a clue or an indication that that specific channel is working out really well for them. Now, this is similar to an email list, but it is also very different in this, or I guess it has one major difference in the sense of you are relying on a third-party platform that you could potentially be banned from. So if you are building out a social presence, whether on Facebook or Instagram, I would encourage you to drive them to an email list. And this can also go the other way around, where you are promoting on your email list to try to send people to your social media platforms. So let's talk about when buying an existing business might be easier for you. So let's go back to what we talked about why people choose advertising to begin with. It's about speed and saving time. And one of the reasons why people don't go the organic route is that it does take time to build content, to rank on that search engine on Google or YouTube, and to have traffic come to your page, to then become an email subscriber. Now, as a way of getting around that, a lot of people opt to purchase a Shopify store for that very reason. So you can go onto the Empire Flippers platform, you can click on the e-commerce business model, and you can find a Shopify store. And one of the benefits of going this route is that you are not only buying a business that already has this traffic source set up, potentially the organic traffic source, but it's also achieved product market fit, and you can also find areas where you can improve that specific business. So if you are interested in going an organic route, but you also want to save as much time as if you were running advertising, then buying a business is a great way of doing that. And if you're curious about that, but you're on the fence and you would just like to learn a little bit more about what that even looks like, then I highly recommend you schedule a call with one of our business advisors. I'll leave a link to that below. And as a last reminder, if you do own a Shopify store, we're actually offering 25% off of the commission if you do sell your store. And that will expire on December 31st. So that's in about probably 1 or 2 days once this video gets published. So if you're planning on selling, then you will want to list as soon as possible if you want to guarantee that you keep an extra 25% that could have gone to commission. And speaking about organic traffic, if you're curious about how we built a powerhouse email newsletter that has over 30,000 weekly readers with almost a 50% open rate and over 97% read rate, then click on this video here. So that's all for now. This is gonna be the last video of the year. So thank you so much for joining me this year. I hope this next year is amazing for you, and I will see you in the next year. Take care.